What's up, YouTube? I was just going through the news today and reading about all the hate priming that's going on and people upset about the Capitol and, the BLM movement in the summertime, and people have all these different viewpoints on them, but there's a lot of race priming and a lot of hatred spewing going on, and people are talking about the next civil war and whatnot. America's not going into another civil war. It's not going to be another 1776 bloodbath, and there's a number of reasons for that. And I wrote down 10 that just came off the top of my head. I didn't even have to think too hard about it. So, and like you guys know, I don't like to spend a lot of time thinking about my videos before I put them up, because there's so many things that need to be said about stuff. Like, if I focus on too much in one area, then it's just my channel's going to turn into I don't know, dogma, and I don't want dogma. So, but there are people that are concerned about what's going on. So I just wrote down 10 reasons why we are not going to be going into a civil war anytime soon. First reason I have: people are cowards. They don't have the strength to to stand by what they have. I feel that nobody has something necessarily worth fighting for right now. Just because people disagree, people can disagree. There's no point in just because you don't think like somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that you hate them or you're scared of them or you want to kill them. Do you know what I'm saying? So people are just too cowards. The people that were fighting for our country in 1776, or the Revolutionary War, back in those times, people had a lot more reasons to to defend themselves. They were fighting persecution. They were fighting being Christians. That's why the Pilgrims came over to America, because they wanted to have their own beliefs. And during the Crusades, they were attacking and killing those people. So you have a reason when you are personally getting attacked and your people are getting killed, then there's reasons to rise up. People aren't getting attacked and killed. I'm sorry. Just because 5 people died at the Capitol because of tensions, a lot of those people are just stupid idiots. There's no reason that they needed to be over there. You can go walk them to the Capitol any day you want, because it's the people's. It's not the government's building, it's the people's building. So that White House is ours. Whether you like it or not, the government knows and understands this, and it's unconstitutional. Just lock the doors, because if you want to go up there and visit the Capitol, you should be able to. Yeah, you can't be getting into every room, but you see what I'm saying? 2, people do not stand by their beliefs, and that ties into 1, because people don't know what's going on. They just see on their screen that they need to be mad at somebody. It's like everyone needs to be mad at somebody. It's so easy just to demonize people and point the frickin' finger, that it's very dismissive, and doesn't have a lot of indifference. You need a loving indifference in order to actually get things done. If you have a strong belief or code that you stand by, and somebody crosses the line, it doesn't necessarily give you the enough ammo to want to hurt those people. You know what I'm saying? You can have your beliefs, you can have your religions, you can have all these, and we can coexist. But we're not gonna be firing, we're not gonna be shooting at each other because because of we're not happy the right president's in office. Because as soon as whatever happens on the 20th, after whatever happens, people are going to go back to hating that guy. It doesn't even matter. People are sick of hearing about Trump, and people are sick of hearing about Biden. So it's neither one of those have strong enough beliefs to get you to stand by your personal beliefs. They're their beliefs, and you should have different beliefs from them as well. 3, people have natural moral compasses. People know what's right and wrong. People know what the truth is, and some people are confused with the truth, and we're being bombarded with things, so we don't actually know what's going on. So when you're getting bombarded with so many different kinds of information and disinformation, you're just going to be confused. And there's another reason people aren't going to be killing other people, because if you're not just going to kill somebody when you don't understand what's going on, you're going to go kill somebody when you got to think about the apocalypse. If your family is starving and you need to go hunt and people turn into cannibals, there's going to be some reasons why people are going to be killing people, because they're starving to death. And I just don't see something so serious going on to where their moral compass is going to go south, and they're just going to be angry and fearful and just want to rise up. There's no reason to rise up right now. There'd only be rise up if, I was mad when we got locked down or whatever, but like it's one of those things where there's other reasons that we were locked down too. A lot of this political stuff is basically just politically charging people. For one thing, um, having a moral compass has to do with, generally, is what is in your heart. I think people that are turned into criminals, they just have a lot of anger and a lot of fear in their hearts, and they were like, they were raised in a freaky environment. America's got like 6,000 more laws than any other country. So if you think about it, I was like, we're the prisoners, and a lot of people don't understand that. They think that we have these laws to make sense of the world. Like, I'm a firm believer in, like, if we just took down all the road signs, and there's going to be some people that are going to get killed, right? But for the most part, I think, they did an experiment when they took down road signs and, like, loosened the laws. People ended up driving safer, and they had no accidents, like, or just minor fender benders. Like, people like to be told what to do, and that's just the way it's always going to be. Um, Number four, everyone hates the left and right. I think a lot of us are just sitting on the fence in the middle right now. And believe it or not, that would probably make you a libertarian, whether you want to like it or not. But the left think that they're so smart, and the right think that they're so smart, and they both think that their way is the way, or there's no way. A lot of people don't like, what has been going on with American history in the last, I'd say, 8 years, 10 years, like maybe even 20 years, because it's just a bunch of poop right now. Like, I don't think the government even knows what they're doing. They just want to keep on legislating and, like, processing more laws, so like they can just tie you down more. And I should probably do a video on stupid laws that we have, and some people would be like, that's not a law, and there's some really dumb laws out there, and laws are supposed to protect people, and I think what laws doing now is just protecting idiots, and the smart people are the ones that are kind of staying out of it. And when the quiet people finally when the quiet people decide to do something about it, then we're going to have serious issues. It's just the loudmouth peckers that are out there screaming at each other and going to the Capitol and being all huffy puffy, but like when it comes down to it, like, there's nothing. Like, if they were going to do something, they would have done something right then and there, but they didn't. They are actually getting prosecuted right now. So I don't think anyone likes the left or the right. I think they all are just, their ideals are so far from like what normal life should be living, that just people aren't happy. They're not gonna like stand. They're not gonna shoot for the left, and they're not gonna shoot for the right. That's just the way it is. Five, people can't organize. People couldn't organize a freaking garage sale if they needed to. They couldn't manage a gumball machine. In the end game, people are gonna be in small, like, the only way that they would actually trigger something like this is if they turn the lights out on everyone, and then we didn't have power. People wouldn't know how to live without their internet. People wouldn't know how to live without their electricity. If they sent us back to the Stone Age, then people are going to be marching around doing something. So as long as we got electricity, I really don't think that they're going to actually do anything of any severity. But then again, something could always happen where they do turn off the lights, so I don't know. 6, people like being told what to do. Strangely enough, that's the way it is. People don't have their own minds. They like to be told what to think. See, when it comes to mind control, if you can control every thought that you have in your head, that's mind control. If you don't have a single thought in your head, or your mind starts thinking and going off and like starts popping off like in every different way, you have no sensibility, and you have no mind control. Mind control is something where you can think about every thought in your head. You can process every thought in your head. If your mind just starts wandering off, you're probably stupid. I'm just letting you know that. So if you are doing that and you're not thinking for yourself or controlling your own thoughts, if you can look at something on the TV or on your screen and it tells you to get mad and you start getting angry, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, for instance, like if you read about some 90-year-old lady that's getting arrested at an elder's home because she didn't make her payment, and that's supposed to make you mad. That's supposed to make you angry. It's like it was $128, and this lady got arrested at an elder's home because she didn't pay her fee. That's seeing an old 90-year-old lady cuffed up. Oh yeah, of course it's gonna drive you to get mad and angry. But you have to be able to manage your thoughts. So that's just the way it is. Number 7, people with guns will not shoot a fellow American. And I know there's a lot of crime, and I know there's a lot more gun violence in America than anywhere else in the world. But you have to think gun violence is not the same as a civil war. Those people are in doing crime, so they need to carry guns constantly to protect themselves for their crime. They're protecting their mentality and their way of life. I would say that most Americans don't even carry guns. It's just they have guns at home, but they don't carry them because we don't fear for our lives. We feel we can lock our doors, and if we lock our doors, then that's safe enough. Yeah, if you're going out in the middle of South Chicago and you're trying to go find an 8 ball, you better be bringing and packing heat, and that's just the way it is. It's not going to be it's not what people are putting out on the TV and on the news, that all these guns need to be collected and taken away because there's all this and that. I can guarantee you that like most people that own guns are law-abiding, God-fearing citizens, and that's you go in Texas. I mean, like, how many people in Texas? I think, don't they give you a gun with like a purchase of a bottle of whiskey? It's like a law that they have down there. No, it's not. It's funny, but if you think about it, the people that do have guns, they don't use them like the way criminals use them. And the criminals that are using guns, I guarantee you, they got the gun from some guy down the street. They're not registered, so like they're just out there and they're on the streets. And yeah, there's always going to be violence, but a lot of with crime comes violence, and people are just going to start shooting other Americans for no reason. 8. The military will stop it before it happens. This is a 100% fact. If there's any sort of people trying to like rise up and start a calamity against other Americans, the military is already in your state. All 50 states, there's military. It takes no time to get across the state. Like they could just be like, turn on the National Guard, and that's it. You guys are done. Sorry. It doesn't matter what kind of guns you have. You don't have tanks. You don't have Humvees. You don't have the military intelligence that the military has to like stop this. Like seeing if you wanted to rise up and you wanted to like you're ready to prep and go out on the streets and like start killing Americans, you better know that there's going to be squadrons of helicopters and stuff. You just are not going to survive. And anyone that thinks that they can go up against the United States government or United States military, you're just stupid, and you're just popping your mouth off. You're not going to. You and your five buddies that have been prepping for 10, 20 years are not going to have a plan to fight the military. You're just not. So you should be safe in your homes and happy knowing that there's not going to be a war like that, like we had. 9. People love, they don't hate. And this is one of the things that it's not necessarily a idea of mine. I know people aren't as angry as they show on TV. I walk down the halls with my neighbors, and we are saying hello to each other. We open the doors for each other. There's not like the stuff that you see on TV is just, it's in the news. That doesn't make it real. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, I have a lot more faith in humanity, I think, than most people do. And that's going to always win. Love will always win. It's just a fact. Number 10, people fear legal prosecution. Again, it goes back to the first one I said, people are cowards. If you are ready to fire upon another American because of their ideals, you are going to face legal prosecution. And that is just the way it's going to be. You love your comfortable life so much that you won't want to dismiss it. You don't want to like go sit in prison for 10, 20, 30 years, depending on what capital charge you're getting. It's just a fact of the matter. So with all that said, there's 10 easy reasons that you don't have to be afraid of what's coming up in the near future. The worst that's going to happen, I think, is there's going to be a not military takeover, a sense of martial law, And people that think that Trump's like a dictator or something, you need to like check your history because it was like I think 2016 or 2018. He already said something about like we're in a state of emergency. So it's just a fact he's got more power right now than God, and that's how it is. And you need to know about your laws, and you need to know about how the executive branch works because I don't know if you guys are worried about like the upcoming events in the coming weeks, or actually it's more like 6 days. In the next 6 days, you don't need to be afraid, and you don't need to be scared. Just sit back and watch the fun unfold. Okay, so yeah, you guys should have a little sense of peace of mind with what I just said, so you don't have to worry. But I know some people are still gonna worry because like I said, they don't have control over their emotions. So if you worry, it means you're not emotionally mature, and you should have the right to um, to be able to speak up and say what's on your mind without facing, like getting called, a racist or a hater or whatever they're going to be calling people. But yeah, I want you guys to have a good day. I got to go back to work, so that's going to be fun. It's always slow this time of year, so I hate going into work this time of year because there's not much to do and I can only clean so much. All right, you guys take care and be good to each other. And if you haven't, make sure you give your animals fresh water 3 times a day because it's important to them.